Welcome to the first and hopefully last episode of Gaming News Tonight. I'm your host, Joey. With me somewhere around here is Harper. Oh, there she is. Good to see you, Harper. Welcome to the show. I'm excited to be here tonight. Hopefully you are too. Let's get right to it. Tonight's top story. Is a remaster of the Mass Effect trilogy in the works? Well, rumors have been around for a while, but there's some new evidence out there that an announcement could be imminent. We'll get into that a little bit more later on, but first, here's everything else that's happened this week. Online retail giant with way too much money that doesn't pay taxes, Amazon has decided to pull the plug completely on their first game development project, Crucible. The game was pulled out of beta earlier during the summer, but is now shut down completely with no plans for the game later in the future. We reached out to the developers to see what their plans are, but unfortunately they could not be reached for contact as all Amazon employees are unprotected from COVID and they died. Electronic Arts has decided to join the rest of us in acknowledging that their FIFA series is the exact same game every single year. The description on the latest entry, FIFA 21, 2077, who knows anymore, reads that there have been no new changes to the game engine or development for the latest title. At this point, they might as well stop worrying about which athlete is on the cover and just slap a giant middle finger on there, since fans are just going to buy the game no matter what. In hardware news this week, Nintendo is reducing the price of the Joy-Con controller down to $35. That's a great deal for something that you know is going to break eventually due to Joy-Con drift. Ali Guler has created a browser extension for Chrome and Firefox that'll show you on the Steam Store webpage if a game is available on Xbox Game Pass. This is great for saving money, but not so great for real Steam users who try to accumulate as many games as possible into their library that they're never going to play. Modder Lance McDonald has created a mod for Bloodborne that runs the game at 60 frames per second. It has not been released to the public yet, as they're waiting to see if Sony releases an official patch for the game for PlayStation 5. Well, exciting for those who care about frame rate, the real exciting mod would be if someone were to strip out the game's OST and replace every audio track with a song by Romanian werewolf band Powerwolf. Modern Warfare players on PC recently got a patch that was available already on consoles to remove parts of the game that they're not playing, like multiplayer or single player, leaving room for Warzone alone. This comes just in time to download the beta for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, ensuring that you have nothing on your hard drive still except Call of Duty. The next entry in the Assassin's Creed series, Valhalla, is going to have a Let the Animus Decide option when choosing your sex in the game, eliminating a difficult choice that many players had when that option first became available in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The game's Animus system will switch back and forth between the female and male versions of Eivor throughout the game, depending on what seems most appropriate for the character. This is exciting. I'm glad Ubisoft is implementing a feature that will allow you to experience the game in different ways without having to replay it entirely, which most of us did not want to do after throwing 80 plus hours into Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now, if only the Animus could eliminate sexual harassment in the workplace, Ubisoft would be doing really well. More Cyberpunk 2077 news, but don't worry, it's not delayed again. In fact, it's coming out on another platform besides PC and console. CD Projekt Red has announced that the game will be available on Stadia at the same time as other platforms. This would explain why they had that mandatory crunch they said that they weren't going to have to ensure that all 12 Stadia owners will get to play the same time as us normal people. Kinda Funny Games got the chance to partner up with US presidential nominee Joe Biden's campaign to exclusively reveal his Animal Crossing island. Players can use a unique code to visit the island, get exclusive swag, see ballot boxes, campaign headquarters, and enjoy plenty of ice cream. I'm sure 77-year-old Joe Biden knows exactly what Animal Crossing is and created his entire island all by himself. GameStop is partnering with Microsoft for the Xbox Series X to receive a portion of digital sales. This is great for those of us who still want to continue listening to GameStop's death rattle as they barely hang on a little bit longer. Ghost of Tsushima released its Legends update with a whole host of new features, most important of which is one that lets you pet enemy dogs until they decide to fight for you. Now, if only I could pet Harper until she would stop barking at children, skateboards, and anyone who's not white. And finally, our top story for the evening, a long-rumored remaster of the original Mass Effect trilogy. While no one cares about Andromeda and we all wish it didn't exist, fans have been clamoring for a remaster of the original series. While there's still no official announcement, a listing for Mass Effect Legendary Edition has appeared on a Korean site. I'm hoping this is a full, actual remaster, not just a resolution upscale or for a graphical overhaul, because you can already get that on PC, though I suppose that would be nice for console players. Hopefully there'll be consistent combat across all 3 games, because we all know that 1 was terrible, 2 was okay, and 3 was the best as it got closest to Gears of War. Most likely, though, there's probably not going to be any Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, which is a bummer because that was actually really fun, and it had no business being as fun as it was. There's a lot we could say about how terrible the ending ultimately was, even though you had 3 and then 4 choices of how to end things with a free update later on. The best solution would be if they added a 5th ending where you get to assume control of Casey Hudson and learn how to write a good ending with a team rather than locking yourself in a room for weeks on end. Hopefully we'll get an official announcement next month on N7 Day, which BioWare fans continue to celebrate even though nothing new has happened for years. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you learned a lot and felt a lot this evening. Harper and I will see you next week for more gaming news tonight. Goodbye, everyone. Harper, everyone knows you're racist now.